Hello and welcome to our first round back nine coverage 2018 PDGA Professional World Championships from beautiful Smugglers Notch, Vermont. BigSexy commentary, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
And we have one heck of a feature card. Ricky, Wysocki, and Kevin Jones leading the way through the front nine at 3 under. Cale Leiviska and Lizotte doing okay, but they definitely need to pick up some birdies in this back nine if they want to stay with the rest of the field. We see some low scores coming in on the front nine. Back nine is the more difficult of the two, but there are still a lot of birdies to be had.
Starting with this one, hole 10, par 3, 295, OB everywhere, but very, very gettable. There's nothing really in the way. Great shot for a turnover putter or a forehand off the tee. Kind of have this upslope by the basket that'll catch the speed of your disc. If you do clear that OB though, surprisingly, there's a 100-foot deep ravine right there.
Yeah, you might lose your disc. I've spent quite a bit of time helping other people look for discs, maybe even looking for my own discs in practice.
I highly doubt that. A guy with your control, not a chance.
I've thrown some bad shots.
Not that I've seen. Kev puts it up there pretty close. He's going to have a tester putt.
And this is so similar to hole 6 in the scoring average. Hole 6, 70% of the field birdie, 4% of the field bogey. Hole 10, 69% of the field birdie, 7% bogey. So very similar. This is a hole you definitely feel like you got to step up and get. Not much in the way at all, especially if you're a sidearm thrower like Ricky is. This is just one of these little pitch ups. Move on to hole 11.
To me, it plays a little longer than it looks. It's one of those holes I kind of got to remember to put some muscle into it. I think just because maybe the uphill finish.
Yeah, that could be it.
This is pretty wide. See if this has the distance.
This is the double German PD2, as we're calling it.
Yeah. Oh, and he's jumping for joy back there.
It's about as excited as you're going to see Simon.
Nice putt from Rick.
And if you didn't listen to or check out the front nine coverage, Ricky does have an ensemble of Wysocki family members here in attendance, all the way up here from Fort Mill, South Carolina. No less than 6 or 7 relatives here.
At least. You can hear them. They're out there supporting. An awesome thing to see. Birdie for Simon. Birdie for Kevin.
A little body language there. Lean off to the left side as his putter is drifting towards the right side of the change. You'll see that happen a lot of times with pros. Sometimes if you feel like the putt is coming out of your hands low, a good tip is to lift that chin up or lift that arm up just to give yourself that extra bit of oomph. Yeah. You'll see that from Kevin sometimes as he's leaning left or right depending on how the putt comes out of his hand.
Great star frame from our group here. Hole 11, par 4, 575 feet, OB on both sides. As you can tell, that is sort of a theme out here on Fox Run. There's a lot of white stakes to deal with. This one you want to go with a pretty big hyzer, kind of flat to hyzer shot, or maybe these guys might throw a giant ante for us to watch. You want to set yourself up in the fairway, and then you've got a blind approach over the stone wall down to this green, but the OB is still here wrapping around the basket and plenty of trees. So you want to get as far as possible to make that upshot as easy as you can.
Yeah, it's not that long of a hole. It's just this big tree to contend with here off the tee. Kevin has gotten past that no problem. This is looking like an absolutely perfect tee shot.
Yes,
and
it is.
Not much skip at all, but you don't need it when you get that kind of distance. And that should be just close enough for maybe a long jump putt, which is really what you'd like to have in this hole.
Yeah, that was an amazing drive.
And Cale
this is more like this is just a great drive.
Yeah,
this is not a mind-blowing,
right.
But just great. And he should be there having a pretty workable little backhand putter shot, trying to float it down that hill.
And Ricky going with a nice flip up there. That's looking like kind of a combination of Cale and Kevin's.
Stays in bounds, and you love that left side, making the approach much straighter.
As close to these OB stakes as you can possibly be without being out of bounds is ideal. And Simon, that's a little high. This
could test the OB.
This is definitely in danger. And, oh, man, and this is like the third time we've seen this. In the short grass, but still out of bounds. It's just not easy to do. They really try to put these stakes as close to the high grass as possible.
And wow. It is. So straight, perfect speed, just nothing but a dunk for his birdie. Fantastic shot from Cale.
And you get that touch from playing catch years and years and having really excellent frisbee skills, and not just disc golf skills, but that touch really comes from
Ooh, Ricky's taking a run at it. Still stops close enough. And Kevin almost in a jump putt range. You were right.
Soft Anheuser throw there.
These guys are just annihilating this hole.
And I would imagine Simon's close enough that he could probably jump putt it.
Looks like he's going to.
And that's right side, but looking pretty good. Wow, these are going to be
I mean,
three
Simon,
birdies and
Simon will have the par, but wow.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is so close. This is not what you usually see on this green.
Yeah, it's those early trees up there right into the gap hit a lot of approaches, and that is, you typically don't see all four players get through there cleanly. And not only did they get through there cleanly, they went down the middle. Sometimes if you see them get through, you might see them left side, right side, just squeeze through some of these tree gaps, but these were all dead center down the middle.
Birdie for Rick, par for Simon, and a great birdie for Cale. That was an impressive upshot. Hole 12, par 4, 730 feet with kind of a OB artificial river area here where you can't land. You've got to get out to the tip of this landing zone as close as you possibly can, setting yourself up with about a 400-foot shot to the elevated basket. The second landing zone, again, as always, wrapped with OB, so if you're errant in any real way, more than about 30 feet either side of the basket or long, you're going to be OB.
And this is one of the most specific landing zones on the course in terms of these open holes to the out of bounds. There is that big tree on the right side of the initial gap. You see just shots raining in on the green here. If you do not stay on the left side, if your drive isn't coming within 20 to 30 feet of this OB on the left, you are not really going to have a shot for the green. That is a really nice shot from Kevin. But even that, I think he's going to have to throw a bit of a flex shot on his second.
Ideally, he'd like to be 30 to 40 feet longer.
Yep. And this is kind of in that nice spot you'd like to be, but you'd like a little bit longer, a little bit lefter.
It's tough because the ridge you can see, is still well short of the OB, but you kind of feel nervous to sail it up over. And that's actually skipping through to a fantastic place.
Oh, that's in bounds.
Yeah, over there, he's got a hyzer shot.
Oh, see, that's good to know, actually, because I thought that was out of bounds.
I mean, there is out of bounds over there, but he came up in bounds, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that's the angle you'd like to be at then. As far right, or as far left, as possible. And Simon going short on purpose. I wonder if he's playing this to go big hyzer on his second shot. It actually looks like he's lining up the Anheuser.
This looks too low.
Yep, too low.
Cale has to go with that flex as well. This also looks low.
And you can see how that tree really comes into play. It sticks out like a sore thumb.
Why are people always sticking out their sore thumbs?
I don't understand it.
It's just going to get dinged again if you leave it waggling out there in the breeze.
Ricky can't quite get inside the circle after the pretty much perfect tee shot. And actually, Kevin has done it long enough that tree shouldn't really be in play. But
this is going to go pretty left. I'm surprised to see him try a hyzer.
Yeah, I wonder if that was just maybe a misrelease.
Oh, no.
Not only that, he has gone out of bounds well short.
Maybe he slipped or something, because that really isn't a place for a high hyzer.
It's not typically his type of throw either. I think that was just either a slip, like you said, or maybe just a misrelease.
Simon takes a try at it.
I'm sure
for par.
Yeah, he'll give it a run, but that is so far away, and he's gonna have to settle for bogey after the ideal tee shot there.
Ricky with our last hope for birdie from 64 feet.
Oh
man, and that would have sent the Wysocki family over the edge had he made that. Great bid from Rick.
He fooled me. I was ready to see that Wysocki Raptor run. Not a bad score in this hole.
Yeah, it's a tough hole, man. These guys are all just taking pars. No one really even, Ricky barely inside circle 2.
Right.
With this group, You know, you would expect some a little closer, but that just shows you how difficult this hole is.
Especially, you know, these players are all backhand dominant players. It's a hard hole for a player like me who likes throwing the forehand off the tee because there's really nowhere to throw a forehand on the approach or the drive.
Nope.
So and for 4 players to be inbounds and not have a look for birdie is just showing you how hard that approach is.
Hole 13, par 3, 350 feet going straight and then finishing left. You want to come in just short of this telephone pole, just short of that tree with the V in it, and go for the green. That's really the only way to do it without getting a little bit lucky. The most common miss here, I think, is just hyzering a little early. You see a lot of people just kind of emphasizing that left movement, not getting quite far enough, and you kind of deal with a lot of trees when that happens.
I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody hit this power pole here. It seems like it is in the perfect place. You never quite can determine whether you want to be left side or right side of that power pole for the hyzer play. Maybe you want to come just inside it, but it does come in play for that ideal swing position.
Yeah.
And Ricky just keeping it inside.
Get around. You need to be around that one.
Same tree that Cale hit.
That's the one you got to beat.
And that's why it's that pole is in that perfect position, because you'd like to be a little bit wider coming in. And I certainly saw someone in my group hit that. Look at that, 3 in a row. Too far inside, but there are some holes through there, and Simon has skipped up and
get pretty lucky, as Simon just did. He may have a putt from there.
Kevin
can put the width that he needs on this.
I'm gonna put $1 that Kevin puts this one close.
I don't want any of that action.
Uh-oh. Well.
Oh no, and he stays OB right. That is a disaster.
Wow. Okay, well, I owe about 65 to 100,000 people $1. That sucks for me.
Oh gosh, is this safe?
Yes.
Wow, hits the
Touch
tree.
The tree. So there is OB long there.
I saw KJ Nybo double OB 6 here, similar to what Kevin just did. Stay OB right, then leak OB long, no putt, a lot of trees.
Wow.
Really just a brutal, not one of the holes you'd expect that to happen.
No, certainly not.
Cale puts a good run on it through the trees, just a little low. This is what Simon has left after a pretty lucky drive. Not able to capitalize.
Yeah.
It feels like our group is kind of hitting a little bit of a lull. They need to kind of get fired up here, get some birdies going, because everybody's kind of frustrated right now. Hole 14, par 3, 380 feet with OB on the right side and long. This one can play as a very straight shot, like a fairway driver throwing very hard directly at the basket, or I would expect these guys to go more with just giant hyzer. You'd like to come in on the long side, get around all these trees on the right side of your screen, and kind of sneak in the back door. That's the best way to get a good putt and not risk hitting one of those trees, because if your hyzer hits one square, it often will roll straight out of bounds. Cale going with that low hyzer. This just needs to stay outright, and it looks perfect.
Yeah,
That's that backdoor window.
Beautiful shot there from Cale.
Well inside the circle.
Ricky going with a little bit lower, a little bit faster, a little bit more angle.
The roll is friendly. No huge roll at least.
Simon, you can see his eyes. He's looking up.
Yeah.
And playing that percentage shot there, going through the trees, plink going down, and that is going to be well short. And there is an entire army of trees between his disc and the basket, making putting anywhere inside circle 2 almost impossible. Kevin's
got that Simon type arm. Puts it over the top, takes a friendly roll, and he's going to have an open putt.
You like that?
See if Simon's got any kind of line. He looks like he does.
Going Anheuser, yeah. And you're going to see a lot of really strange technical straddles and weird angles coming in on this green. Oh, wow.
Ricky just high.
Kevin up and in, and that's going to shows you how close Cale is.
Great birdie. Little sigh of relief from Kev, I think.
Sure. Bogey on the previous hole is not the score you're looking for, and that's going to even it out, bring him to par on these two, which is, again, not what you're looking for, but it's better than the alternative.
Absolutely. Hole 15, par 3, 315 feet, woods tunnel breaking right. This one is a good forehand play or turnover putter or mid-range. Just got to be super accurate. As you can see, lots and lots of trees. Late break, pretty hard right, so you need a pretty strong finish to reach circle 1. I think we're going to see a couple forehands, couple backhands here from this group.
A brand new hole added to the course this year. Fox Run, known as being an open course, we have a wooded hole followed by another wooded hole coming up on 16, a new hole there as well. And so kind of keeping the players honest here with their lines, not just throwing shots in the open into the out of bounds areas.
That was a very nice turnover from Cale.
Yeah, and this is a hole. If you don't have a forehand, it is tough to get in putting area. Cale does not throw forehands, so really comfortable with that backhand turnover shot. Kevin, who does have a forehand, goes with the backhand anhyzer, and man, that was looking great too. Caught an unfortunate tree and has kicked to about 75, 80 feet. And Ricky going for one of those
inside
misprint early run felons, and that has kicked and left him short. And Simon, this is looking really nice with the double German PD2.
And it got a good kick. He's going to still putt from there.
Mm-hmm. Very technical hole. Very, very specific line.
Nice escape from Ricky.
Gets really skinny as you can see those trees sticking out in the corner there.
Uh-oh. Kevin might have twisted an ankle there.
Oh, man.
That looked bad. Like a little bit of an awkward landing. I hope he's okay.
And Cale jump putting in. Great putt there, but man, I do feel concerned right now for Kevin because he's a strong guy, tough guy, played college football. For him to say ouch, I wonder what happened. I have no idea. Simon with a nice putt as well. 2 great birdies.
Looks like Kev's okay.
Okay. It was a great run while he was slipping or rolling his ankle or catching a branch or whatever he was doing. He almost made the long 70-footer.
Hole 16, par 4, 715 feet. This has got to be one of the most difficult on the course. Tell me I'm right.
Yeah, it's the second hardest hole in the course.
That feels about right. This hole is brutal. You've got to hit this tunnel that is very, very long and undulating here, so it's kind of difficult with the slope. You'd really love to drive it as far as this short tee pad, but I haven't actually personally seen anyone do that yet. Then you've got this little ribbon of out of bounds that you've got to decide when to make that crossing, and then OB wrapping the pin yet again. So very, very difficult to throw a drive anywhere that you could say you're in a comfortable place to go to the green in 2.
It is just a ridiculously hard hole, and Cale is going for this. Oh, look at that skip. Perfect. Didn't really affect the flight at all. If anything, it helped it. You want to be on the left side of the fairway. There is virtually no out of bounds left. There's just a lot of trouble right.
Oh, no, and
as
kick
you're going to
right
see
as
here.
well. That's going to be very difficult. I don't think Cale's drive is really in that great a place, though, either, to go for it.
No. Well,
My gosh.
And that's going to bring in some questions for Kevin. Does he lay up short?
I think he has to.
I would agree with that. And Ricky, this needs to turn a little bit.
Take a good kick. Yes.
Oh, that's an incredible kick.
That's fantastic.
And that's going to put him in this position where he can get aggressive and go for it. But with that little bit of out of bounds strip, yeah, it looks like Kevin is trying to lay up short.
Oh, no, he's going right again. He's safe, but man.
Yeah, there's no... Safe is a relative word there.
Yeah, and Simon with a nice shot out, finds the middle, but again, that's just such a tough place to get aggressive. You know Simon will, but that is a very tough place to do it from.
You know, Cale's got, at least...
Look how awkward the spot Cale was. And that is such a great shot.
Wow.
Wow, that was amazing. From that bad footing, coming in at an awkward angle, ripping full anhyzer, hitting a gap.
Knowing that he was going to slip and roll a little bit.
That was one of the best shots we've seen today.
Oh, and Simon get a little bit of tree help there, perhaps. And that's in a long range to, perhaps save the long par.
To save a par from his drive would be incredible.
Yeah. And this is one of the better drives you will see.
Oh, that's the best I've ever seen. But this approach, okay, it's good. I was
It's
worried it was going
really
to stay straight, but that is fantastic. That is just absolutely dissecting this hole. Perfect drive, got that great kick. Forehand roller from Kevin, that's out.
Oh, no.
But where did it cross?
Not far at all. Kevin Jones is going to take a big number on this hole. I believe that was his 5th shot.
Yeah, this would be the 6th shot. Settle close for him. Yeah, that should end it with a 7. That is painful. Simon for par, no. He's in disbelief. Cale for a big-time birdie.
Oh, wow.
And Ricky just the best you could ever see anybody play this hole.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't expect to see anything like that again.
Average is 4.49. That's kind of the score you'd expect on a good par 5.
Yeah.
And, that's just... Oh, it's tough. As you see Kevin taking a big number there. Still keeps his head up. Helps Simon take the disc out of the basket, showing he's a true sportsman. Cale with a good par. Yeah, we saw a little bit of everything there. Par, birdie, bogey, triple.
Hole 17, par 3, 400 feet, but it doesn't play quite that long because it is downhill. You're going way around the blind corner to the elevated pin. You're just going to want to throw up a high hyzer, really focus on getting your shot as left as possible. You really hope that you don't hit the wood or the gravel. That could be, that structure could be your undoing on a perfect shot, because I think then it could skip out of bounds.
And one of the things they did this year is actually they removed the wall around the green on the left side and below. So a lot of these shots that came in too fast or skipped and rolled in previous years would hit that wall and stay in bounds. This year, you don't have that same luxury. You have to control the disc, which I believe is a good change.
Ricky with a nice shot there, just long of the pin. Cale needs this to really get left in a hurry. And it does not, but it does stay in bounds. So he's got a 35-footer. Yeah, you want a lot more height on this shot than that.
Right. Cale does have the high spike hyzer. He doesn't really throw it that much. So that's kind of a pretty common play for him. There's actually a lot less spike than I expected to see from Simon.
And he stays out wide right too, but he makes just slightly inside the circle.
See if Kevin can bounce back.
And this almost looks like a mid.
And that's a super tight line. You don't see too many shots come up that short and left. That's a difficult thing to do. That's a missed throw there from Kevin. Perhaps he caught some of the foliage getting around the corner.
Cale off the top of the basket.
He needs to sit down.
Simon for birdie.
Oh, great putt.
I'm sort of surprised we didn't see Kev. He seemed like he was further away than these guys.
He might have laid up so quick that we didn't quite catch it on camera.
Possible. Oh no, another roll?
Rolling uphill.
Yikes. Ricky for birdie, and he moves to 7 under.
Loving the fam support. And this is not the putt you want for bogey. Gosh, you don't really want any putts for bogey.
Unlucky rolls for Cale, but he strikes there. Yep. Limits it to just a single bogey. And it looks like Kevin did lay up from back where he was, so he should have this for par.
Perhaps the disc stood up and rolled 70 feet after the camera stopped.
I think it would have said birdie if that had happened.
Yep, you're probably right.
Hole 18, par 4, 775 feet, going downhill, then breaking to the right. This one has OB left and OB right. These players are all going to take a big hyzer over the OB on the right and try to bring it into the shadow of this big tree, kind of land in the area of the big tree. The mark of a good drive is anything over this path. It's kind of coming through the middle of the fairway right now.
That's a great drive, yeah.
If you're past that, you're looking really good for your approach to this green. There is a slope behind and to the right, and there is OB back there. And the basket, again, slightly elevated. This is one of the windier holes on the course as well, so the putting can often be pretty difficult.
I'd say signature hole number 1 on this course. It has to be. I mean, you're looking over these mountains here.
Yeah, it's
beautiful downhill shot. So difficult to control the disc. Is that going to be safe? Yeah, that's in a great spot.
That's perfect.
That's taking away the tree there on the corner out of play.
How crazy is Simon thinking of going here?
He seemed to be somewhat reserved. That's a pretty typical Simon play. That's the big high hyzer swinging way left, and that is going to be
Yikes.
That's going to give him that backdoor play.
Yep.
So he's going to have to go inside the tree. Most players would probably prefer to be about 60, 70 feet left.
The huge hyzer, the super wide hyzer is a very scary play because if you somehow don't clear, you're moving up 20 feet.
Right. And Kevin with a really nicely controlled 500-foot hyzer there. Didn't really seem to throw it that hard, but just perfect position.
This looks good from Cale. Nice angle. Should be able to drop before the road.
And this is the hole where we will see the world champion crowned. Unless there's a playoff,
True.
This will be the last hole played at the 2018 World Championships.
Or the playoff could go 18 holes and we'd be back around for another shot.
That's a good point.
I would love to see that if I was in it.
Right? And Cale, nice approach there with his M4 inside the circle. He's got about 26 feet or so. And Ricky's going with a harp approach here, throwing a little bit of hyzer.
This needs to swing. There it goes.
Yep.
Nice shot.
Well-controlled shot there. And Simon going with, I believe, a P2 and hyzer here. Nice putter shot. That's going to leave him a bit short, but inside the circle nonetheless.
Pretty easy approach for Kevin. Well done there. Slow down.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful use of the wood. Everybody putting for birdie. Oh, Cale leaves it a little low. Disappointing.
Simon's up and in.
Birdies 4 under on the day for him. Not the greatest start he could have hoped for, but not too bad. Ricky with a very solid -8. Kevin moves to -2. And Cale will hold at 3.
Kevin had some big scores in that round, but still maintained enough birdies to keep his head above water and lives to fight another day. And
True.
We see Ricky with a nice starting round at 8 under par.
5 under on the back 9. Totally clean. No bogeys. Well done from Ricky. There is the leaderboard. Calvin Heimberg 11 under. Myself at 10. Nico, James, Paul, Jake, Matt, Andrew, Lance all at 9.
Shooting incredible starting rounds here at the World Championships. This is what it's all about. The culmination of our sport, the biggest title, the most prestigious title you can have in our game. We're bringing it to you all week here in Smugglers Resort in Vermont. Be sure to check out the second, third, and fourth and fifth round coverage at the 2018 Pro Worlds Disc Golf Championships.